This is the Rolex Submariner reference 11400, and I have it right here in front of me. Stainless steel case, black dial, and ceramic bezel. The look says it all. For anyone even slightly interested in watches, this piece is instantly recognizable. I want to share my personal experience with it, touching on the key features and a few concerns I had when I first got my hands on it. The Rolex Submariner 114060 was first released back in 2012, and this specific version doesn't have a date window. That might sound like a tiny detail, but for watch fans, even newcomers, this is worth mentioning. The no-date sub almost feels like the purest form of the Submariner. There's something about the symmetry of the black dial, with its simple applied markers and the absence of the Cyclops magnifier that you often see on most modern Rolex models. In my opinion, it just looks clean and timeless. When I first saw the specs, 40mm case diameter, stainless steel bracelet, ceramic bezel, and a bit of extra weight compared to older models, I was honestly a little concerned it might feel pretty big or heavy on my wrist. It's not a small watch, and with the super case design, the lugs are noticeably broader than what you find on vintage models. But putting it on for the first time, those worries faded fast. It felt solid, but not overwhelming. The case sits comfortably, and the weight just gives it a reassuring presence. I think if you like knowing you have something substantial on your wrist, this will be perfect for you. The bracelet is another highlight. Oystersteel feels cool right away, and the fit is made even better by the glide lock clasp. For anyone new to Rolex, this little system lets you adjust the bracelet in tiny increments just by sliding a hidden section in the clasp. No tools or pins required. From my experience, it's super convenient, especially during a long day when your wrist might swell or shrink. Sometimes my wrist gets a little bigger after exercise or late in the afternoon, and being able to make it more comfortable in seconds is just awesome. Looking at the dial and bezel, the details really stand out. The black ceramic bezel insert, which Rolex calls Cerachrome, is nearly impossible to scratch or fade. That's a big step up from the aluminum bezels I used to see. These older ones picked up scratches all the time. The rotating bezel moves with a precise, tactile click, and even after a lot of use, mine feels as crisp as when it was new. The markers and hands are larger than older subs. This maxi dial layout means more surface area for the glow-in-the-dark chromolite lume. It glows blue in the dark, and in my experience, it makes reading the time at night or underwater completely effortless. Speaking of which, it's rated for 300 meters water resistance. I rarely ever swim that deep, but there's definitely some peace of mind knowing it'll handle anything I throw at it. Getting into the movement a bit, the Submariner 114060 uses the Rolex caliber 3130, automatic, self-winding, COSC-certified chronometer, and with a 48-hour power reserve. Now, if you're new to watch terms, COSC is basically Swiss testing for accuracy, and a chronometer passes those strict tests. The movement uses Rolex's Parachrom hairspring, which, simply put, helps keep the watch running accurately, even if it gets knocked around or exposed to a strong magnet. Over my months of daily wear, it's kept amazing time. Honestly, rarely off by more than a few seconds over a week. A lot of folks worry about maintaining a mechanical watch, but from my experience, this Submariner is easy to live with. Regularly wiping it down with a microfiber cloth keeps it looking sharp, and the ceramic bezel shrugs off scratches surprisingly well. If you're the kind of person who's careful, it'll look new for years. If you're a little rougher, it can definitely take it. I've bumped it on doors more times than I care to admit, but there's never been a mark or a complaint. On wrist, the shape and feel are exactly what I hoped for. The case has that classic Submariner silhouette, unmistakable, sporty, but sophisticated. Sometimes I wear it with a t-shirt, sometimes with a button-up shirt, and it never looks out of place. For anyone debating if a dive watch makes sense outside the pool or ocean, I'd recommend this for everything from desk work to a weekend hike. It's versatile and easy to dress up or down. Now, let me touch on a couple of drawbacks to keep things honest. The main one is the size and shape. Those chunkier lugs may not please everyone, especially if you love the sleeker, thinner profiles of the vintage Submariners. The bracelet and clasp, while ultra comfortable, do add a little more weight than older models. When I first wore it, I noticed the extra heft, but within a day, it just felt right. I even grew to appreciate the sturdiness. Another point is the price and availability. Getting a Submariner, especially at retail, isn't easy. The demand hugely outweighs the supply, and most of the time, you'll run into long wait lists or higher prices from resellers. It's frustrating, but when you finally have it, the quality is noticeable. Talking about why the Submariner is so special, there's something about how all these elements come together that just feels right. The quality, the way each part fits perfectly, the snappy feedback of the bezel, even the click of the clasp. There's just a satisfying feeling to all of it. And because I use this watch myself, I can say that it really is as reliable and enjoyable as people say. Setting and winding it is simple, the lume is fantastic for late nights. And I never have to worry about it handling a little water or a hard knock.